This conference will now be recorded.
Okay, I want one of you to read this paragraph and then we'll kick off.
Do you want me to?
The comparison Python provides us with a short and concise way to construct new sequences such as list, set, dictionary, etc. Using sequences which have been already defined, Python supports the following 4 types of comprehension. So, okay, list comprehensions provides an elegant way to create new lists. The following is the basic structure of a list comprehension. Something. Okay. So list of 4 types. Suppose we want to create an output list which consists only the even numbers which are present in the input list. Let's see how to do this using for loops and list comprehensions and decide which method is better.
Okay, and just see this list. This is the normal for loop to create a print statement wherein you are passing through a list element and figuring it out which one is a even number. So this we have seen before also. Just to see, you have any doubts from the start to the last here? Any doubts here?
No.
Okay, you guys feel confident with this because that we have seen many times.
Yep.
This was using the simple for loop. Okay, you are writing element of percentile by 2 equal to 0, then pass it and append it into the new list wherein I want to give only even numbers. So this one is a new way of writing the list comprehension. Just have a look at it. ఒక్క నిమిషం ఛార్జింగ్ పెడతాను. చూసారా?
యా బేసిక్ గా సేమ్ ఫర్ లూప్ వాడుతున్నాడు కానీ లిస్ట్ లో పెట్టి వాడుతున్నాడు.
So instead of writing an empty list, appending it into something like using a for loop and a if condition, what he has done, all this for loop and if condition, he wrote it within a simple plain list, all the operation, and directly in the next line in a single shot he printed this output list. So for var in input list, if var percentile is equal to 2, this is very simple for every element in input list. If var percentile equal to 2, this you guys are very comfortable.
Yeah.
Okay, until here. But the only extra is writing the element name before you write it. Var for var in input list if var percentile is equal to 2. Understood or any question? Yes or no?
Yes.
Okay, next one. Can someone read this?
Suppose create an output
Yeah.
which consists squares of all the numbers from the 1 to 9. Let's see how to do this using loop and list comprehension.
Same, square of a number, output of a list is equal to blank. For var in range of 1 to 10, he is using range function. He is appending the element into output list, but before appending, he is writing the square of the number. Okay, this was the old traditional method of writing. So if you want to do using list comprehension, you have to do it within the list. The entire operation should go in a single line. So what is it doing? For var in range of so and so, for var in range of so and so, there is no if condition. Directly you have to pass the variable as a square of it. So what he has done, var of square of, pass it into this for loop. So the answer is this one. If you wanted only to pass the even numbers, then you would have written if var is equal to var percentile is equal to 0, then it would have given square में ये numbers. Is that okay or any question?
No, it's okay.
Okay. You can do to dictionary set and tuple also. Let's see this one. Extending the idea of list comprehensions, we can also create a dictionary using dictionary comprehension. The basic structure of the dictionary comprehension looks like this one. Output of dict is equal to key value for key value in iterable if key value satisfies this condition. Okay, suppose we want to create an output dictionary which contains only odd numbers that are present in the input list as key and their cubes as values. Let's see how to do this using the loops and the dictionary comprehension. Input list is 1 2 3 4 5 6 7. Assume output dict is blank, empty dictionary that I've created. For var in input list, if var percentile 2 not equal to 0, that means it is not an even number. Output dict of var, that means output dict of 0, output dict of 1 is equal to so and so. That means for every element you are passing, for every key you are passing an element. So key value, the answer is 1. For 1 the answer is 1, for 3 the answer is 27, 5 125, 7 343. Any question on this?
No.
Wonderful, man, you guys are understanding. Oh. Okay, the next one, using the dict comprehension. Same. You have to follow the tags, which is this one. Where key value, I want a key whatever is present in the list element, and then its value I want it to be a cube for every element in the input list if var percentile of 2 not equal to 0. Is that okay?
So a small doubt in comprehensions, it has to be always a loop condition in there, or
Yeah, if you don't write a loop, no, there is no point, it won't iterate, right?
so there always has to be iterable in the comprehensions.
See, the basic structure goes like this. This is the basic structure of it.
Okay.
If you want to write a dict comprehension, you have to write like this only. If you want to write a
Okay.
list comprehension, you have to write like this.
Okay.
See, it is just another way to write this program. I very rarely see people using comprehensions, because see, first of all, to remember this and remember classes only, we will think, okay, sufficient for me. If you want to show off to people, I want to write comprehensions, yes, go ahead. But I would write a simple program like this. This is more sufficient, right?
Yeah. It's more easier to understand the
Correct. See, again, why
the
you want to
code.
remember a new syntax for your head?
Yeah.
Your brain will be more trained. No? Okay, give two lists containing the names of their state and their corresponding capital. Construct a dictionary which maps the state with the respective capital. Let's see how to do this using for the loops and the dictionary comprehension. Okay, Gujarat, Maharashtra, Rajasthan, Gandhinagar, Mumbai, Jaipur. Output dict is an empty dict. For key value in zip of state capital, output dict of key is equal to value. ఇది ఒక్కటి కొంచెం కొత్తగా అనిపిస్తుంది మీకు. ఒకసారి చూడండి, ఈ రెండు లైన్స్ ఏమైనా అర్థం కలదా అడగండి.
వాట్ ఇస్ జిప్ ఆఫ్ అని రాస్తే అంటే అన్ని జిప్ కోడ్స్ ఆల్రెడీ ప్రీ డిఫైన్డ్ ఉంటాయా?
Zip is a keyword which will help you combine capital, state, but first element with first element, second element with second element, third element with third element.
Okay. So it's just tying.
Because you want to zip these together and you want to create a dictionary, right?
Okay, okay. అంటే ఇప్పుడు ఆర్డర్ రివర్స్ లో ఉందంటే మనకి రివర్స్ లో వస్తుందా?
ఇక్కడ గుజరాత్ కి జైపూర్ ఉంటే గుజరాత్ కి జైపూర్ క్యాపిటల్ అని వస్తుంది.
ఓకే,
అది రాంగ్ కదా.
యా.
So you have to be careful which element is having which position. When you are using zip cannot be blindly given. Like if suppose Gujarat is there and you have a Jaipur here, Maharashtra is there, then you have Gandhinagar. No, that doesn't work out. So you have to be careful and zip of state and capital, output dict is equal to value. So for every key element you take the value. Okay, state is taken into key, capital is taken into value. If you would have reversed this, capital would have been taken into key, state would have been taken into value. Any questions?
No.
Nagaraju?
No.
How to write this in dictionary comprehension? Just have a look at it.
Key values.
Okay. Next, set comprehension. Set comprehensions are pretty similar to the list comprehension. The only difference between them is the set comprehension use curly brackets. Let's look at the following example to understand comprehensions. Okay, Nagaraj, you don't tell me. Pawan, you tell me what is the difference between a set and a list.
Set and a list. Set is like a continuous thing, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, for the set you will be using those flower brackets instead of square brackets. For the list you will be using this.
But what will they use?
Another try.
Huh?
Okay, so
What
set is if you have multiple numbers also, you will be getting only one number.
Unique elements.
Okay.
Correct. Unique elements will be returned in set. Because other day only me and Nagaraj would discuss, so I asked him not to tell. Okay. So input list is equal to list all the elements that you are defining. Output set you are defining an empty set. For var in input list, if percentile of var 2 is equal to 0, that means the even number. You are appending the element into this set.
Okay.
Appending the element to this set. So what will happen? Even though 4 will go set 2 times, it will return you only 1 time.
Okay, because it's a set. Okay.
Set is always a unique element. It will always return you a unique element, no duplicates.
Okay.
So
Oh yeah,
input,
set multi-set. Yeah.
how to write a set comprehension? Simple. Same way for var for var in input list. If var percentile 2 equal to 0, that's it. Your answer is here. Any question?
No.
Okay. Generator comprehensions are very similar to the list comprehension. One difference between them is that the generator comprehension uses the circular brackets, where list comprehension uses a square brackets. The major difference between them is that the generator doesn't allocate memory for the whole list. Instead, the generator each value one by one, which is why they are memory efficient. Let's look at the following example to understand the generator comprehension. Okay, if you just remember, I told you generator doesn't take the entire list at one shot, entire iterator at one shot. It will go one element by one element. Last time when I told you the concept of
Yeah.
generator.
Yep.
Okay, but for a loop, it will take entire at a one single shot.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's what he's telling. Generator is taken in a round bracket, but a list is taken in a square bracket. Okay. Input list is equal to some list he has created. Output generator is equal to var for var in input list if var percentile is equal to 0. So now output values using generator comprehension. 1 second. When you write it in square round brackets here, that means you are suggesting Python to take this in a generator format, not a list format. If you would have given square brackets here, this syntax is very similar to, just remember this line. Let's take this line. Okay, and then the list generator. Both are same, right? This is generator, this is list. Agreed?
Yes.
But the only difference is the
Square
representation. So when you put it in a square bracket, it will understand you are passing it in a list and it will do the entire memory allocation in a single shot.
Yep.
But when you do generator round bracket, it will return one element by one element. So the efficiency of memory for Python allocation, memory allocation in Python is very good when you use a generator. Okay.
Okay.
So Nagaraju, you are always thinking about memory allocation, no?
Yeah.
If future you want to use Python, you have to go to the concept of generator all the time.
Okay. So it will assign some memory by itself. No? We need to assign.
Yeah. See, what will happen? No, if suppose you are having 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 orders. Suppose if you use a plain list, it will take all elements at one shot and it will process one by one.
Okay.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But generator, no, it will take all 5, but processing will be one by one. 1, 2, 3, 4, like that. Practically, while seeing, you will see, even though you write a for loop or you write a generator, practically while seeing, you will see, okay, one shot. But in a generator concept, you have to write a next of I, then it will give you next element, next of I, next element, something like that. Okay, operation will happen only when you call it. That class report card example that I gave the last time when I was teaching generators.
Okay.
So when you see, you write like this, you print off this thing and you are separating every element by a space where end is equal to space. Your answer is 24446. Any questions? Have a look at it.
2, 4, 4. Second 4. Why second 4 is coming again? Okay. How Abhishek, like how it is calculated percentage to
Okay. The list is 1, 2, 3, 4, 4, 5, 6, 7, 7.
yeah. Okay.
Simple Bhavan. You are checking whether you give me only even number.
Mm-hmm. Okay, all
Okay.
the
Even numbers are only getting returned, no?
yeah, correct. Okay.
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 That's the thing. So next, what nested list comprehension undali. 1 second. Nested list comprehension is okay. List comprehensions are one of the most amazing feature of Python. It is the most smart and conscious way of creating the list by iterating over an iteratable object. Nested list comprehensions are nothing but a list comprehension within another list comprehension, a list comprehension within one more list, which is quite similar to nested for the loops. You guys have seen the nested loops and nested dictionaries, no? List within a list, dictionary within a dictionary.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, this guy wants to create a matrix. You guys remember this, no? 10th class maths.
Yeah.
Okay. Below code uses nested for loops for the given task. Okay. What is it doing in this example one? Okay. For I in range of 5, that means until 0 to 4, append empty list inside the list, matrix dot append empty list. For j in range of 5, matrix I of append of j. So print matrix, you are getting this one. Understood or any question? When you want to print a matrix representation like this, you have to write the for loop like this. First, for I in range of 5, for j in range of 5, matrix I, matrix append j. For matrix I means for every element of I, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, append j. So how many times it will get appended? 5 times. Okay, let's take this example, play with it, you will understand better. Okay, let's take this. Okay, now suppose instead of I give a j here, what will happen? List range is out of index. Okay, so what we will do, we will print a I for our convenience. What is there in I every time, and what is there in j also we will print. One second, more simpler way. What is there? First, what has happened? You see the for loop. See the result.
So for each element, it's appending for these elements, right? For 5j
Correct.
elements.
ఒక లూప్ స్టార్ట్ అయింది. ఫస్ట్ 0 ఎలిమెంట్ రేంజ్ 5 అంటే 0 1 2 3 4 ఉంటది కదా. లూప్ స్టార్ట్ అయింది, 0 ఐ హోల్డ్ చేసుకుంది ఫస్ట్. సో ఐ హోల్డ్ చేసుకున్నప్పుడు ఏం చేసింది, లోపలికి వెళ్ళింది, జే లో ఉంది. జే మళ్ళీ ఇంకో లూప్. సో 0 కి ఫస్ట్ ఇక్కడికి వెళ్ళిపోయింది. వెళ్ళినప్పుడు ఇక్కడ 5 ఇటరేషన్స్ ఉన్నాయి లోపల జేలా. ఎందుకంటే 1 2 3 4 5 0 1 2 3 4 వరకు. సో ఈ 5 ఇటరేషన్స్ అయినాకనే మళ్ళీ 1 కి వస్తుంది. చూడు ఈ 4 ఇక్కడ చూడు, ఈ ఇటరేషన్స్ అయినాకనే మళ్ళీ ఐలో 1 అనే ఎలిమెంట్ కి వస్తుంది అది. ఓకే, మళ్ళీ ఏం చేస్తుంది, మళ్ళా స్టార్టింగ్ నుంచి 4 ఇటరేషన్స్ కొడుతుంది. మళ్ళా 2 కి వస్తుంది, మళ్ళా 4 వరకు ఇటరేషన్స్ కొడుతుంది, మళ్ళా 3 కి వస్తుంది. అట్లా ఏందంటే ఏమంటున్నాం మనము, print for j in range of 5, matrix of I of append. Matrix of I ante endi? Matrix is an empty list. Empty list of 0th index. First time పోయినప్పుడు ఇది 0th index. 0th index లో 0 1 2 3 4. 1 index లో 0 1 2 3 4. 2 index లో 0 1 2 3 4. 3 లో 0 1 2 3 4. 4 లో 0 1 2 3 4. That's it. Kelkatam. Final answer. అర్థమైందా? కాలేదా?
Yeah.
మీకు ఓకేనా నాగరాజు?
Yeah.
ఓకే, వండర్ఫుల్. సో ఇది
So
నెస్టెడ్ లిస్ట్. చెప్పండి.
ఏం లేదు, జస్ట్ లూప్ లో లూప్ పెట్టి ఈచ్ ఎలిమెంట్ కి ఈచ్ లూప్ 5 times రిపీట్ అయ్యేటట్టు పెట్టుకో.
Correct. So if you wanted to write this nested list comprehension in one single start of line, you can write like this. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Suppose I want to give a flatten suppose I want to flatten a given 2D list. So the list is like a matrix. He wants to just store 1 2 3 4 5 6, a plain list. He wants to convert this into a simple list. So matrix is equal to so and so list element, and then flatten matrix is equal to empty list. For sublist in matrix, for value in sublist, flatten matrix dot append value. You want me to take this to Python notebook?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, tell me how it is working now.
Matrix.
You want me to put any print statements? You only tell me where to put a print.
Matrix. For sublist in matrix. Okay. So below there. So yeah. Print sublist. And below there, yeah, print val, so that we would be knowing what we are doing.
Okay, anything that you want me to print? Nothing?
Flattered matrix is there in
Flatten matrix.
అది ఉంది కదా కింద.
పైన పెట్టమంటావా లేకపోతే?
అక్కడ కింద ఆల్రెడీ ఉంది కదా అంట.
ఉంది, కాకపోతే లూప్ లోపల వేరే ఆన్సర్ వస్తుంది, లూప్ బయట వేరే ఆన్సర్ వస్తుంది నీకు ఎప్పుడైనా. ఇది ఫైనల్ రిజల్ట్.
ఓకే.
ఇది కూడా పెట్టుకో, నీకు అర్థమవుతుంది. ఇది ఏంటంటే లూప్ లో ఎవ్రీ ఎలిమెంట్ కి ఇస్తుంది. ఇది ఏంటంటే లూప్ బయట ఫైనల్ గో, వన్ షాట్. ఇప్పుడు చూడండి,
సబ్ లిస్ట్ తీసుకున్నాను, దాని తర్వాత దాంట్లో మళ్ళీ వాల్యూస్ తీసుకొని ఈచ్ దానికి
ఒక్క నిమిషం.
ఓకే, I got it.
What is he doing? He's separating every element and he's storing it into one new empty list, which is called as flatten matrix. First, what is he doing? He's going into matrix. He's calling the element into sub list. So first element he picked it up. Now for val in sub list, for every value in sub list, he's going and giving it into flattened matrix. ఇక్కడ ఎలిమెంట్ పిక్ చేసుకో, ఇక్కడ ఇచ్చేసేయి. ఇక్కడ ఎలిమెంట్ పిక్ చేసుకో, ఇక్కడ ఇచ్చేసేయి. ఎలిమెంట్ పిక్ చేసుకో, ఇక్కడ ఇచ్చేసేయి. అర్థమైందా? అర్థం కాలేదా? అర్థమైందా?
యా అర్థమైంది.
Okay. If you want to do this in comprehension, this is the way. It's up to you guys whether you want to write it in a simple for loop or you want to complex things up and write it this way. The only thing for doing this is not complex. You have to remember the syntax.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Next example. Suppose I want to flatten a given 2D list. Only include those strings whose lengths are less than 6. So Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Pluto వరకు వెళ్ళిండు. దేనికైతే స్ట్రింగ్ లెంత్ లెస్ దాన్ 6 ఉందో, మెర్క్యూరీకి వచ్చి 6 కంటే ఎక్కువ కదా. సో he doesn't want to give out into the flattened list. So Earth, he wants to give it out. So how to write this? Let me take this example. Let's go over there and see what's he doing. Okay, you want me to decode somewhere, put some prints? Yes, tell me.
Same places, yeah. Print sublist, print planet.
So tomorrow if you write a code to understand what you are parsing and what you are doing, this is the way to do it, guys. That's why I'm making you guys do this thing. So tomorrow you should use print statements when you are writing the code, so that you will understand, okay, what, when I write this for loop, what is happening within this for loop, which element is going inside, which element is coming outside. Okay, you should always decode using this only.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, this planet is not needed because that is anyways this one only. Okay, let me run this now. See, this list element 0th index was holding three planets. Okay.
Yep.
Those 3 came in. So for every element in sublist, that means first to Mercury, then Venus. Because Venus is matching, it will go into flattened planets. And that loop did not end. So Earth was remaining. Earth also came in. Earth will go into flattened planets. Then again, next element, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn. Mars will come until this element. Jupiter will not come. Saturn will come. Okay, the loop is broken. Now again start with the next index element. Understood or any questions?
Understood.
Okay, Nagaraju?
Yeah.
Okay, wonderful.
ఓ ఇట్లా మల్టీ సబ్లిస్ట్ ఉన్నప్పుడు ఈ కాన్సెప్ట్ ఇది.
యా, కాకపోతే దీనికి కూడా నేను కాంప్రహెన్షన్ రాయనైతే ఏ రోజు ఎంకరేజ్ చేయను బాస్. నేను మీ ఇష్టం, అది మీరు కాంప్రహెన్షన్ రాసి చేస్తారా లేకపోతే మా నార్మల్ లూపింగ్ రాసి చేస్తారా అనేది మీ కాన్సెప్ట్. ఇంకా అది నన్ను అడిగితే లూపింగ్ రాయడమే ఈజీ, ఎందుకంటే ఫర్ పెట్టుకుంటూ వెళ్ళి రాయడం ఈజీ, కానీ లిస్ట్ కాంప్రహెన్షన్ సింగిల్ లైన్ లో రాయాలంటే నీకు కొంచెం ఎక్కువ స్ట్రెయిన్ అనిపిస్తుంది అర్థం చేసుకోవడానికి కూడా. ఇక్కడ ఇది నువ్వు మిస్టేక్ చేయడానికి స్కోప్ ఎక్కువ ఉంటది. ఓకే, dictionary comprehensions. I think we have seen this, no? Dictionary comprehensions. We have just seen one example. We have seen this, but just for the sake of example. Okay, you guys, can you just look at this code and tell me any question? Just now, sometime back, I explained this example, Gujarat and Rajasthan, that example.
Yeah,
Stated
key value
differently.
pairs.
Yeah.
So A1, B2, C3, D4, E5, yeah.
Correct. So why A is going into key, B is going into sorry, 1 is going into value? Can you tell me? That's a
Because
silly
we
question,
can
but still.
zip key comma values, right?
Okay, if this was not key, this was A, this was B, how would you write the representation?
Value means always one numbers, right? Key means
Zip A comma B, right?
Okay, good. Okay, zip A comma gate. Nagaraju, good question. So if I interchange these two, instead of keys, I will write 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. For values, I will write A, B, C, D. What will happen?
values will be always numbers, huh? No?
No. See,
Okay.
I told you, no, if you go to a restaurant, you look at a menu card, that is a dictionary.
Yeah.
Okay. You look at a starter, okay, suppose because you're vegetarian, some baby corn manchuria or something gobi manchuria or something that you want to see. The element according to its value, right? Okay. Or else you take Aadhaar card example, or else your American citizenship. I don't know what is there over there.
Yeah.
Your number is attached with your name, correct? So either way out, there is no difference. Like, okay, you can take a key value, you can interchange, so it doesn't matter. So if I want to interchange this one, I have to pass values here, I have to pass keys here. Then what would happen? My element representation would be 1 is A, 2 is B, 3 is C, 4 is D, 5 is E.
Yes.
Now this example, A is 1, B is 2, C is 3. Okay. This is the normal way of representing a dictionary.
Yes.
But if you want to write, okay, now you want to use a dictionary comprehension. How will you do it? I want to write square of elements. X square for X in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So the answer is 1 of 1, 2 of 4, 3 of 9, 4 of 16, 5 of 25. Understood this?
Yeah.
Can you tell me how you can write this into this one? I want to write that in this one. Can I do it?
Yeah, you can do it.
How can I do it?
Go down. ABCD, right? 1 plus 1 plus 1 x plus 1 for x in ABCDEF. X equal to x plus 1 for
Okay, you are iterating the X element, but there is no need, no Nagaraju. Directly for X in list colon, you will write X square. So what will happen? It will go.
Oh yeah.
No need of iterator because for is already an iterator. No, you don't need to increase the count. Okay. A similar way, one more representation. This coding element, he wants to make it a cube. This is a string. He wants to make it a cube. So what will happen? For every element, he wants to make it to a upper element. Suppose C is coming upper element. So what is happening here?
Why O is first? C is supposed to be first, right?
Okay, tell me. Good question. We'll take it to our this thing. Okay, x dot upper x cube for x in coding.
So we got C. CODING, yeah.
It is a random order.
Okay.
Might be that guy when he has run, he has got it like that.
Okay.
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 Okay, what is happening in this one? For x in x cube, for x in range of 10, if x cube percentile of 4, that what does he mean here?
X cube. So x cube value reminder is 4.
No.
Okay. Percentile is quotient, right?
If you divide by 4, it should be 0. Divisible by 4. Okay. Yeah, we are checking the divisibility, right? If I divide by 4, the remainder should be 0. So your answer is, for x in range of 10, it will give you only the elements where the cube of the element is divided by 4. 512 is divisible by 4, 8 is divisible by 4, 64 is divisible by 4, 216 is divisible.
Okay, divisible by 4.
0 is okay.
Okay. Okay.
Actually, you are having 3 things over here. One is range function, one is cube of an element, and one is if condition, and then one is the percentile division. So 4 totally. If you count the 5, then 5. But everything is combining it into a single line. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. The 5 minutes. Functions we have already seen. Default parameters we have seen. Variable arguments we have seen. Specialized sorts. Sorted functions. Okay, let's see. X is equal to 2, 8, 1, 4, 6, 3, 7. Sorted return. Sorted of x, if you write, answer is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Alphabetical order. If you write sorted of x of reverse is equal to true, then the answer is reverse order. This is the original list. Any questions on these 3?
So basically Excel sort kind of function.
Yeah, simple sort function.
Okay.
If you write for a alphabet, then the answer would be in the alphabetical order. If you write it in reverse, then it will give you in reverse order. Reverse is equal to true. If you would have applied, then the answer would be different. So simple. Sorted of this one, tuple also you can do, string also you can do, dictionary also you can do. All the answers are like this. Okay, this is for a list. The answer is E is the first element, right? Among those.
Yeah.
Tuple also same answer. Python, this is a string. Which one is the first element? H, right?
Yeah.
Dictionary again E. Set again a E. Frozen set means okay. Frozen set is an inbuilt function in Python which takes an iterable object as input and makes them immutable. Simply, it freezes the iterable objects and makes them unchangeable. In Python, frozen set is same as a set except its elements are immutable. So you understood, or any question? So set element is something which will give you unique elements, right, boss?
Yes. Set element is something which gives only.
Correct. If
Okay.
you are having 1, 2, 3, 3 times, it will give you only 1, 2, 3 as the answer.
Yes.
But
Yes.
if you want to append any element, set of append, you can write suppose 4. So answer would be 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. But frozen set is something that if you pass these elements, then the answer would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 when you append a frozen set on that, when you make it as a frozen set. But if you want to append any element to this, it won't append. Okay.
Okay.
But the set operation remains. If you pass 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, suppose one element 2 times, one element 3 times, one element 4 times, then still it will retain you unique times. But the thing is, it will make sure that you are making it in a single element, and there is no further append on this. Frozen set is something like it is frozen. There is no further change on that. Okay. Okay. Yo.
Something like a tuple, right?
Tuple. Yes. Tuple is a immutable element. List is mutable, set is mutable, dictionary is mutable, tuple is immutable, frozen set is immutable.
Yeah.
Okay, correct.
Yeah.
So suppose you are doing some custom sorting, you are having these elements: normal sort, sorted of L, sort. Other sort is you can define the key length also. Suppose you are having length of the element and B as the lesser length, right? It is only one element. The answer is in the length of the element. Understood this one?
Yeah.
These are very self-explanatory, but still. Okay. Function return percentile of 7 means whichever is divisible by 7. 5, 30, 5, 3, 11, 7. Which is going to come up? If you pass this into this one, the answer is 7, no?
7, yeah. Remaining all are not possible, yeah.
Sort a list of integers based on the remainder of the on dividing. So the point is here you are not using if condition, you are just dividing. So your answers would be this is 1, this is 3, this is 4, this is 0. If you are
Okay.
storing it into one variable, he just wants to sort basing on the remainder order.
Okay.
So it is
That's
sorting. Normal sort will give you 3, 7, 11, 15 for this list.
Yeah.
But if you apply this function, the answer would be 7, 15, 3, 11. Because this is giving 0, this is giving 1, this is giving 3, this is giving 4.
Okay.
Understood?
Yep.
Okay, wonderful. So tomorrow we will see. ఇప్పటికి మనకు ఒక 20 క్లాసెస్ అయినాయిగా.
21.
ఓకే బా నాగరాజు ఏమన్నా సరే అబ్బా కొమటోల్ ఫస్ట్ ఫీల్ అవ్వకు.
లేదు
ఈ లెక్కల మ్యాటర్ లో మాత్రం మిమ్మల్ని కొట్టిన వాళ్ళు ఉన్నారు.
కుమార్ కూడా వైశాలి, కుమార్ కూడా వైశాలి.
ఓహో కుమారా, తెలుసు
చూస్తుండే 21, 20 అని ఈరోజు.
అసలు నీకు ఓకే ఆగు ఒక్క నిమిషం.